Hello everyone, I'm Jared and I'm going to show you how to set up your yearbook in Creator Studio. The first thing you do is you make sure that you're in the Create tab on the left. Once you're in the Create tab, you go to the bottom right corner and click New Project. From here, we're going to create a blank project. You could also import an existing project as a template, but we're just going to go ahead and do the blank project. I'm going to title it the test book. You can change and select the book type, year ending, and we're going to do 160 pages with a 400 book quantity, and then an estimated delivery date that we're going to input here. And of course, make sure that you input the correct size of your book. This is one thing that you cannot change later. So I'm going to choose a 9x12, and then I'm going to click Next. Now we're going to look at whether your book is going to be a ladder or section book. This is important, and it will dictate how you and your team work on the yearbook. First and foremost, once the book is done and it gets sent to the printer, there's no difference in what you will get back. The difference is only in how the book is set up and how your team uses it in Creator Studio. We'll dive into the differences in just a moment, but for now, we're going to click on Page Ladder and then Create Project. Once you've created your project, it will appear here under the Create tab. And when you're ready to start editing and to start assigning team members and working on the yearbook, you simply click on Open Project, whether you've chosen a ladder or a section book. Let's start by looking at the ladder book. To look at the ladder book, I'm going to go to the Create tab and click Open Project. From here, you'll see important information about your book, but for us to see the difference between ladder and section, we'll just click on the ladder over here and see that we see every page in the entire yearbook. So we have the first page right here, pages 2 to 3, all the way to the last page. To start editing, you'll simply click into that page and edit. Since this is page 1, we do not have a spread. This end sheet cannot be edited. We can only work here. One of the things that differentiates the ladder book from the section book is that the ladder book is always in spreads. So no matter what you're doing, you're going to add 2 pages at a time. So I'm on page 2 to 3 right here. If I wanted to add another blank spread, I'm going to click plus, and it creates an additional 2 pages right here. You can't add a single page in a ladder book. Now let's go ahead and look at a section book. We get to the section book just like we would a ladder book, and we'll click Open Project. You'll notice that there's no ladder tab over here on the left. Instead, we have sections. The section book does ask that you plan the book out a little bit beforehand. So you'll know that, for instance, this is 5 pages that's going to be in the opening. We're going to have 40 in academics, sports has 30, et cetera, until you fill up your yearbook. You could add a new section by clicking here, choosing one of the options. We're going to name it Student Life. And because we've pre-planned the book, we're going to choose 16 pages and go to Finish. So now we have 4 different sections, and we can assign different editors and different people to work on each section, and they're going to be responsible for those. So if you had students or other parents working on this academic section, you can click the little triangle and get a preview of what they're working on. And if you want to go into any of these pages or spreads to look at them, you just click on that and you'll be taken right to that spread. We're on page 6 and 7 right here, and we just click Next to go to 8 and 9 and go and scroll through that section. So that's one of the differences between the section book and the ladder book, is just how it's laid out in Creator Studio. This provides some flexibility, so I could add a page or delete a page to a section. The ladder book, you can only add or delete in 2 pages. So those are the 2 main differences between the section and the ladder book. It's mostly about pre-planning and how you would like to work with your team. Remember that the results, the book that gets printed, is exactly the same. Thanks for viewing. If you have any questions, make sure to reach out.